Yeah, I'm connecting. I'm in. Testing. Is it working now? There we go. YouTube stream is live. Let me hook up my YouTube chat. All right, we're in. We're live. An hour and a half in, but that's okay. So listen to this. Listen to how loud this is. It just keeps going. Cameraman is shaking. Dude, the door is shaking. You can hear wind going through. You guys hear that? Dude, that's funny. Okay, I guess I'll grab I'll grab this sound effect and I'll cut out the loud part. Or I'll cut in I'll keep the loud part as a loop. Well, all right, Journey 1, time to put you in Audacity. Where? There we go. Move you in here. All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. The London Underground is that loud? I feel like the last time I was in the TTC, which is like the Toronto Underground subway, it wasn't that loud. But to be fair, there was a lot of people in the train, so maybe that like cut out some of the noise. Maybe more people to drown out, soak up the noise. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna create a loop from here to here. Seems pretty close in terms of frequency. Okay. I might be there. As you can tell, there's a section in here that gets very loud. Yeah. Can you play the game? I'm trying to show someone what you're working on. It's a train game. There's the YouTube page as well, Ben. I'm on my second channel. I got like gameplay clips on there too now. I'm putting this in here. I'm staying clean. Let's get this sphere in here. Urgh. Come on! That door sound, man. I fucked up the math, and then I was like, wait, that sounds kind of funny. And then I was like, you know what? It's kind of funny. Let's just leave it in the game. Processor? Where am I from? The land of Canada. What's my second channel? Second Crimson? No, it's called Big Crim. The profile picture is a face of Yoda. It looks a bit like this. This is my I'm gonna be posting random shit to this channel. The infamous Big Crims or Big Crim. So there's the sliding door video and stuff in here. Yeah. The big creme. Creme de creme. Anyways, hold on. I gotta loop this sound effect. Am I learning to use a DAW? No, I'm just clipping a sound effect, and then we're gonna try to loop it real quick. So I guess for an ambience, we would want to keep it stereo, huh? Oops. Okay. It's looping now. So what I've been doing to create looping sounds, or at least as close as I could, I cut off a bit of the beginning, I take it and I put it at the end. So essentially what's going on is I fade this part out and I fade this part in. I don't know if it's a super way of doing it, but it works. Especially this one. This one works quite well, actually. And then basically this ending point is right here. So we end up kind of just fading in to the next part. So it works really well. Here, I could show you guys. I just don't want to make it too loud. I'm going to lower the desktop volume for you guys. So this is what it sounds like when it loops. And then this loud part, which I think I have to normalize a little bit. Yeah. I'm back. My third and final interview is next Monday for the role. Jeez, 3 interviews, bro. It's fucking crazy. I guess that's not that bad. Like, it's probably... There's places where you probably get way more interviews. But I'm glad the second one went well, y'all. It sounds like it did. Based on the fact that you have another interview. Okay. So this is our inside of tunnel... Inside tunnel sound. Export this as a WAV file. This will be tunnel inside tunnel underscore ambiance. Actually, before I do that, I have to remember we have to normalize this. If I do normalize, is it gonna normalize? Yes, it will. Even it'll turn the highs into around the same. Okay, good. So instead of negative 23, let's do -8. That's not it. That's not really... How can I go about normalizing this one section so it stays consistent with everything else? Does anyone know? Does anyone know like what I would use in I know audio. Oh. Did you know there's a WAV file editor plugin in Unreal, beta or experimental? Probably though. That's okay. I have Audacity for it. It's all right. I got Audacity. It's all good. Ah, whatever. This is fine. Whoa. Okay, that part clipped because it changed the fucking volume separately. Okay, what if I just... Can I just lower the volume of this area? If I do normalization though, just from the start and end, is it going to somehow break? Is it going to cause a clipping noise? No, actually it did not. That being said, it gets loud. It's all right. It's okay. We'll normalize that. We'll normalize that a little bit. Yeah. There's an ease out somewhere in Audacity. I don't know. I just use fading, fade in, fade out, and I just use that, and that's how I do it there. That's about it. Okay. Okay. So now, can I change the attenuation of an audio volume in runtime? We're gonna have to find out. So let's hook this up to inside tunnel ambience. Time to find out. Q underscore tunnel interior ambience. Volume attenuation. Box. I don't think spatialization would make sense for a tunnel. How would you go about making spatialization for a tunnel? Bro, I don't really know how to do ambience very well. Enable occlusion, no. Enable reverb send, sure. What is this? Spatialization, no. Volume attenuation. We probably would want some volume attenuation, I think. Maybe. No meta sound? We used meta sound for our footstep sounds. Which honestly is kind of unnecessary, but whatever. It works. It works. I'm not going to touch it right now. Let's lower the volume multiplier to like 0.6 for now. Okay, tunnel. Audio gameplay volume. Maybe the audio gameplay volume has some systems for this to allow us to play sounds without requiring attenuation. Let's see what kind of things are exposed. I don't know what kind of sound, like, okay. We have the Q. That's great for us. Now the question is, can we change the attenuation of this thing in runtime? That's gonna be the question. Do we need this to be a box? Can we set the extents in runtime? What is that? What is that category called again? Attenuation. Ah, 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 ah! Oh my god. They really did expose quite everything. Okay. Yes, here it is. In attenuation settings, attenuation shape extents. Yes. Yes, that's the one. That's the one, baby. We found it. Found it. I've awoken. Sonny, did you change your name? That's one long node. It's a big struct. Attenuation. Okay. I might have to set this up as a local variable. Never mind, it's fine. Okay, we're gonna be and we go to and then we go up actually because it's up at the top for some reason. It's not. Huh? What? It's fucking this is bullshit. It's bullshit, man. I'd be rebranding a hell yeah. Hell yeah. Bro, where the fuck I am? Where is the volume? Where's the vector? Don't fuck with me, Unreal. Where are you? You should be in spatially. You should be in attenuation distance. I found it. Yeah! Yeah! Okay. Now, we might have to do some more work, but that's okay. So we want to get bounds. I think that's... Oh, we did get actor bounds. Arr. Interesting. Very interesting. And then let's try box extent. And then we should see that here. Aha. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's not updating. Let me see. It is updating. What? What? This should wait and is huh? Is it, what, huh? This should be the extents. No, you're not supposed to be that small. Man, what the fuck? That's it's not. It's supposed to be big, huge, humongous, tunnel sized. Maybe we get this, and then I get the bounds of this. Okay, let's try that. Huh. Hmm. We could do this. I get the distance. multiplied by the instance count. Okay. And then I set that on the X. Yeah, now we're getting... Huh? Wait, hold on, guys. I think I might have doubled it. I think we need to half this. We need to half it. Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, hold on. And then this should be halfway if I did that correctly. Yes. So now we need to set the location of this to the center of the actor bounds. Now this, okay, this should work. This should work. We get the origin. Huh? Get actor bounds for some reason does not work. It works here, but then once you use it here, no. No. Let's go unlit real quick just so I can see things and then blind myself. Get actor bounds does not work in the construction script. For some reason. I don't know why. Let me try component bounds. It's just getting the first component. Oh, you asshole. Oh, come on, man. Get local bounds? No. Oh. Hold on. I'm gonna have to do some math, aren't I? Yeah, of course I am. Great. Okay, so this gives us the distance in half. Technically, what we have to do is get the world location. We get the actor location. Now we know this is always going to be in the x-axis, so I could just take this plus the x-axis, make the vector real quick, and then this would be the correct stuff. Now our volume should be correctly somewhere else. Oh, that's the y-axis. Of course. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Really? There we go. Now we got ourselves a bounding box, which is not exactly 100% perfect, but you know what? That's okay because, well, we'll figure it out. Don't worry, we can fuck with the math a little bit. Shape extensive the y. Well, luckily I could just eyeball it. Because I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. And then the z, I don't know, 2000? Yeah. There we go. We got our ambience volume that should Dynamically modify itself based on the size of the tunnel. Very good. As you can see. Does some cool stuff. So I don't have to manually change that. Sweet. Okay, so now let's adjust the fall off just so like the sound effect doesn't like immediately play. Fall off distance 1,000. Okay. Well, I guess the only thing to find out now is how does it sound? That's just terrifying. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, hold on. Maybe the fall off distance should be much larger. And then maybe we decrease our extents a little bit. So I'm gonna add a plus -500. That's not the right number. Plus 500, apparently. Never mind. I should be doing that in somewhere else, which would be right here. Give me one moment, please. Ah, there we go. Aha, yeah, aha. Okay, now let me just change the fall off again. Increase the fall off. Surely this will sound fine. Let me also decrease the volume. Okay, I already did that. I also don't know how to make it so... We'll find out. Yep, Strapped. I want to ask you what this game genre is actually called, because I can never seem to find a good answer besides friendslop. I would say the actual genre of this game, at least my game, is co-op horror survival with elements of comedy, with some little elements of comedy, which I would say is kind of like the co-op element, and then some elements of comedy. I feel like are the biggest components of friendslop. It doesn't sound right. If we go inside, does it quiet? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Something about it doesn't feel right. What if we stand like right here? I think he's strapped. Appreciate it. Is the sound coming from the tunnel itself or the train? This sound effect is on the train. Not on the train, sorry. It's on the tunnel. It's attached to the tunnel. Well, yeah. it's, you know, it sounds, it sounds okay. It sounds, I don't know, it doesn't sound right. It made me think I'm in a tunnel? You know, I guess, yeah, I guess. I think it sounds like the sound effect. It sounds like the sound effect has a point. Yeah, also the train is like, the train does kind of seem like it's going pretty slow. So maybe we pitch it down a little bit. Maybe if we pitch it down a bit, maybe it sound more interesting. I don't know. Let's see. Also, oh, it has spatialization. I don't know why spatialization. Let me turn off spatialization. That's not right. I don't know why that turned on by default. I think it's because we overrid the attenuation. That's sick. That sounds good. I think it was the spatialization. I noticed when we were crossing the midpoint of the tunnel, it sounded like we were passing by the sound effect. I was like, what the hell? That's not right. That's not right at all. Let's up the volume. Now that we kind of have some, let's do 0.5 and let's see how it sounds. And then we'll just go with that. I think the problem is that at the very beginning, it doesn't sound like it's coming from the train. Exiting kind of sounds cool, though. Exiting sounds cool. Balls. Let's increase the fall-off distance a bit. I think entering needs to take longer. Let me try natural sound. There's an attenuation function called natural sound. I don't know if it'll make a difference, though. I don't think it will, but, you know, whatever. Where does the smoke come from? It's me. I'm smoking big fucking puffs of smoke. That's basically what it is. No, there's nothing. It's just for testing. Shit's on fire, yo. No, it's not. It's fine. Spatialization and attenuation. Spatialization is, as it says, spatial. It's within space. I think. Hold on, let me double check. Right? It's within space. And spatialization basically means wherever it sounds like in space. So it becomes stereo. So if you're like listening from something on the right side, it's going to be in space on the right side. Whereas attenuation is, at least volume. They're both called attenuation. It's just different. It's just attenuation. I don't know what this actually word. They should make this simpler. You know, they're doing the whole forward right up bullshit because they're fucking stupid. They might as well turn this into English words now. What is attenuation in English? Epic. You're losing the plot a little bit. It kind of feels like you're losing the plot. Sound ducking, but sound ducking is a different terminology in the sound design world. Sound ducking would be when a sound effect ducks other sounds. Shut the fuck up already. All right, fine. I'm gonna put this in the sink, man. And this. And I'm going to the bathroom. Hello. I had to go clear my nose and bathroom and stuff. All right. I'd like to be an influencer, but with this new changing technology, we're thinking to go to jail. What the fuck are you saying? What are you talking about? Why would you go to jail? Anyways. I want whatever they're on. I don't know. Who knows? I'm in the tunnel. Sorry, my English is beginner. No worries, man. It sounds okay. It sounds cool, I guess. Crimson inhaled something? No, more like I exhaled something. All of my boogers out of my nose. Actually, not all of them, clearly, because... Never thought you added a stamina bar? Yeah. Been there for a little while. Ooh, you can hear it on the inside too. It's not bad. I changed the bounds of it, so it should start earlier and end later. Unless its length is generated randomly. It will be random. Right now, it's just 16 instances long, and I can easily extend it, but it's just for testing. Wait, did I just make it? Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. Well, now it's doing it properly. Okay, let's do it like that, I guess. The attenuation starting is a bit off, but we can figure that out. And then we'll move on to the next thing. Get that thing off my screen! There's something stuck on my screen. There we go. We're fine. What's the song? The Glass Staircase by Perturbator. Oh, the last one? Oh, fuck. Venus by Perturbator. Yeah, we do need a switch sound. That would be like another additional thing. Oh yeah, the exit sounds perfecto. Now, it's just, I think the entrance is a bit off. Let's see. It's not It's not horrible. A horn sound would be cool. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna put one in the command center, and then the players will be able to go like an idiot, and then maybe scare their friend who's up here working on repairing some shit. Let me up the volume, and then let me test what it sounds like when we're on the inside. A swoosh sound would be great. For sure. Cool. Cool. Yeah. You need to go train surfing and record on your smartphone? Ah, yes. What do you think about the newest chipset? Which one? I don't know. I like the OG chocolate chips. I don't think they could beat that with anything new. Alright, this sounded like a real train. Okay, we should really get started on... Well, we did get started. We got the random item spawning, albeit there's a lot of other elements we need to work on for it. Honestly, the thing with the item spawning, the biggest thing is just making sure that it doesn't spawn a gigantic object in these lockers. That's like honestly the biggest thing. As long as it doesn't spawn something huge in here, we should be fine. So, yeah. Oh, you know what would be a nice detail in here? A little coat hanger. Yeah. It's fucking dark in here. Turn on the lights. Wait, the lights are on. It's as dark as hell in here. I like the sound of the tunnels. It's cool. Ooh. Disabled lumen? Oh, you're damn right I did. But let's see what this looks like with Screen Space GI, though. Oh, it doesn't have a command for it again. Dude, why did they make it so there's no command for the Screen Space GI anymore? They're really annoying. I don't think we can enable Lumen, though. I'm pretty sure like it does not work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does not work on DX11. Oh, it requires generate mesh distance fields. Oh, pretty sure I turned that off. Let's see what screen space looks like. Kind of dark in here. Does it even work? Yeah, it's just screen space. Once there's no more screen space, like light, no light and vision, it's gonna like, it just darkens everything. And I really don't want to turn on generate mesh distance fields. Reflections, screen space. PC case is arriving on Friday. Hey, hell yeah. How are you doing, Golden? Make this game wear a bikini. So stupid. Yep, sounds like we're in a tunnel. We nailed it. I think. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I think maybe it could be, the next thing could be wind. Wind could be the next thing that we end up doing here. Maybe so, Pennant. Have a good one. Rest well. Wind would be the next thing. I was thinking the way to generate wind would be a line trace from the player character forward. That way there's less wind if you're like against a wall. And then more wind if you're like out in the open. Now, would I do a line trace from the player character forward? Or would I do a line trace... Yeah, that seems correct. But then I need to determine if I'm in an interior. Good job, the game's coming together. Hey, thank you, Golden. It's getting there. Obviously, I'm working on like really stupid things that people would assume is useless, but I think it adds to the atmosphere and ambience, and I don't know. It's you know, it's whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't think it's useless details. So, air, wind simulation. Well, we don't need to do simulation, just wind. Okay. I think I have a project where I have a looping wind sound. I don't know where it is. Looping wind sound. Huh. Which project would that be in? Runner's Paradise, maybe? No, not that one. Not that project. Which project would it be in? This one. Yes. Wait. Yeah. No. Wait. No. Damn it. Um, maybe Ronin, I had a sound effect for just sound, like wind. What the fuck is all this, man? I like that sound though. Oh, I like that one too. Maybe we should take these. Ooh. Just blow air into the microphone and then record it. Is that what I did? Maybe that's what I did. Oh my god. It's the sound of the train. Do you guys remember in Ronin there was it's the sound of the train. I found the sound, the ambient sound for it. Anyways, maybe there's like air sounds here. Maybe I probably have a sound effect for it in here. Did I read the World Gen Hightail blog? I heard something about it on YouTube. I saw a thumbnail for that released today or yesterday. But no. What's the what's the details? They don't show much. It's more the technical side. Link the blog if you got it. If you got it. Would this be air or would it be wind? We got some swishes here. Swishy? Swish, swoosh. I don't know if we'd want a swish or a swoosh in here. I think it's more like air or wind. Let me see. V2 has been developed since 2021. V2 will completely replace V1 once we're ready and will be the generation support going forward. So is this V1 generation? It's V2 in the videos. Cool. There's like little stepping stone spots like all around here. Trees. Some floating, it seems. But cool that there's trees in the hills. Erosion effect example. Yeah, cool, man. I like the little log as a bridge. I wonder if they're like actually generating that. Little log as a bridge. Cool. Node editor. That's pretty sweet. They're really going for like modability and whatnot. You know, Woozy? Cool. Node editor, spaghetti generator. Oh, hell yeah, dude. It's time for the spaghetti. Oh, so these are all like different planets? Is that what the idea is? Or Orbis, okay, which is kind of like an Earth-like planet. They plan to add other dimensions later, kind of like the Nether, etc. Okay. This looks a bit like a, kind of like a gas giant, almost. At least the way that they're, it's designed almost. Interesting. This looks kind of sweet though. Like it looks like roots. Gigantic tree. Kind of cool. Pretty neat. When is it coming out again? It's like in a week or something, right? Isn't the early access in like a week? Wind. Next week. Damn. Tuesday. Damn. Pretty soon. Either it's going to be air or wind. I'm pretty sure there is a wind pack here. I don't know if I installed it or downloaded it. I might not have. Windows. Ah, yes, Windows. I have a sound effect in one of my projects that has a wind sound, and I don't know where it is. Damn it. Yeah, I don't think I have any like air sounds. Which is kind of annoying. Unless maybe the aircraft stuff might have some like air sounds. I'm pretty sure the air sounds though are coming from like a different marketplace asset. Pretty sure. Let me see if I search up wind. Windows, window open, sliding window. Yeah, it's all wind. Which is kind of annoying. Will make making larger maps so much easier. I am curious how much people are going to utilize all that stuff because they're making so many tools. I hope, you know what I mean? Like, I hope, I hope it gets utilized. That was one of my worries with Super Hire. If I ever were to work on a level editor, is like how many people would actually use it? You know what I mean? Like, how many people would actually like go in and make some stuff with it? People specialize with that stuff? Probably. Yeah. imagine it'll take a few months before we hopefully start seeing some cool stuff. Well, I imagine people would have to like learn how to use the tools and then how much is exposed and whatnot. Like there's some ambience here. We might be able to find, I see wind. I saw wind right there. But that's like nighttime. Well, hold on, let's see. No, I need just straight up like. Straight up getting blasted by wind. Because that's probably what would actually happen on a train. The one thing that worries me is since all the mods are server side, how will the game perform if you have like 50 mods in one world? Probably not great. Okay, hold on. Minecraft mod packs can have hundreds. Yeah, but it does get pretty gnarly. It does get, you know, one could say it does get pretty gnarly. That's why Riot wanted to redo the engine. Damn. I'm gonna see if I can open up this project because I'm pretty sure I have an air sound in here, and I'm just gonna port it over. They use Java? Wait. Hightail is made in Java again? Why are, you know, Like, wasn't that the whole point of Minecraft, like creating a different version that's like in C++? Is to like optimize it, make it a lot more powerful and whatnot? Like, what's the dealio there? Let me mute your guys' Unreal. Hold on. Is that what we're using? Wind strong high voltage? Airspeed. There we go. It's using multiple things. Jeez. Well, I guess we'll just migrate this real quick. Hold on. Migrate. I don't need those sound classes. Okay. Wait. Since when? I migrated the sound effect and it completely deleted it from the project. Since when did migrate delete a whole ass fucking Unreal, what the fuck is wrong with you? Unreal, you are special. You are one special piece of shit. Seriously. What the fuck? They should come back if you restart. Okay. Well, we'll find out. Not too worried about this project, but, you know, I don't want to ruin it in the case that I want to come back to it. It's a bug. You just restart and it should be good. That's so funny. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? The Hytale devs are pretty confident they can get on console without compromising the game at all. Yeah, that's actually a good question. Does Java even work on console? Why wouldn't it? I don't know. You know how technology is. You know how technology is. Okay, airspeed. So nice. So we got ourselves a sound, a air sound. Here, you guys can hear it now. Now, we'd probably want this to be like way stronger. But that's probably a good start for now. Okay. Why are we doing this? I don't know, because we can. Anyways, moving on. So, how would we simulate how much air should spawn? We also have to make sure that if you're in an interior, obviously we don't want any sort of sound to play. Thank you, Tom. Well, only one thing I can think of, which is check for air pressure. Okay. That's not it. Check for air pressure. And we'll do it every 0.2 seconds. Looping. We'll use the camera. World static, world dynamic. Do the world location of the follow camera, and then what we want to do is we always want the vector to go in a specific direction. So we'll do, I guess what we could do is just do this. Take this, because everything is going to run in the exact same direction in the game. That's okay with me. So it's in the y-axis. So we could do plus 5,000. And then that could be the end point. It's immediately hitting something because we're inside of a volume. Oh, fuck. That's not very good. That's not very good. I gotta say, it's not very good. Let's do visibility. But that being said, we do need to fix that because that could get in the way of other tracing. But problem for future me. Problem for future me, perhaps. How can we determine if you are in an interior? Future Crimson always gets the shitty jobs. It's true. It's true. And honestly, he deserves it. Okay, so maybe we do a secondary line trace to check if you're in an interior first. What am I doing? Just copy this whole thing. Okay, first we check if we're in an interior. This could be pretty easy. We'll just check the Z and then move it up. And then we'll check the ceiling. And then I think we'll associate a tag with every train. To see that it is actually an interior. Which means I have to do that with everything. Surely I'm not going to forget this, right? But hey, maybe this could be useful in other scenarios. I don't know. Who knows? Actually, you know what I can do? This will for sure make it so I 100% did this. There. The manager will manage it for me, so I don't have to do it manually. Aha! Yes! Yes! Very smart. Okay, so first we want to check if we hit something. If we did, we then want to check, does it have a tag? Interior. And then if it has an interior tag, should I add the wind sound to the player character at all times? What do you guys think? Or should I only start playing it when we need it? What do you guys think? Only spawn it when we need it, or should I just have it always spawned on the player character? Only start playing it when you need it. Have it blast at full volume the whole time, even if you alt-tab. Diabolical. Whatever makes the performance worse? Ah, yes. The AAA way. I guess we'll just spawn it ourselves. We would probably spawn this in 2D. I think. It makes the most sense to have this spawn in 2D. And we'll start it off with a volume of 0. And then what we'd probably want to do is promote this to a variable called air sound.
Shit my pants, I did.
Can't wait for 69.
Felix, thank you for the 66 months. Holy moly. Holy moly. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, 69's coming up, man. This year. This year. The big 69. If there was a hit. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. Okay, if there was a hit, then if it doesn't, if the tag, okay, if false, then we want to destroy or fade out, fade this out. Or actually, yeah, we probably want to fade it out. And then delete it. So here's what we're going to do. After 0.2 seconds, we'll go ahead and delete the air pressure sound. So that would mean this destroy component. Probably stupid constantly creating and destroying this, but whatever, fuck it. Whatever, man. Oh well. And then in here, what we'll do is, if this is going through, we can clear the timer if it's going through at all, and then that way we don't accidentally destroy it. Okay. If this hit nothing, then we want to skip this check, because it means we are in mid-air, or like in open air. So we're going to skip that and go straight into the clear timer, and then create the air sound, spawn the thing in, and then we'll do the actual calculation of how loud should the air sound play. Feel like fmod would help with this kind of thing, but I don't know, I've never used it. Either way, we would have to feed fmod parameters for this anyways, which would have to be done with here, which is what we're doing here. I don't think fmod, like, out of the box has a solution for this. Or maybe it does. That's okay. We're doing our own thing here. Value is value 0 if there was initial overlap. Is the value 0? I guess we'll just do 5,000 as the trace distance. I don't think this should break, because this returns 0 if there was no hit, or -1 maybe. Or maybe this brings out 5,000. I don't fucking know, but we'll just do this for now. Okay. So we do a line trace, and then essentially from here, we're just going to set the volume of the air sound. So what we'll do is we'll do clamp range 0 to 5,000 will become, well, this is a pretty big range though. Like, honestly, let's do 0 to 1,000. 5,000 is kind of overkill, to be honest. If it's 0, then that means we're super close to a surface. Let's go ahead and make that like 100 though. So that'll be 0. If it's 1,000, then let's set the volume multiplier to 1. So essentially, am I going to have in-game proximity chat at some point? We have it. The VoIP is working. Just some adjustments that I need to make. We had a play test, and I need to make some adjustments. I think there's a start and release for a noise gate that I think when you first start the thing, it's like too intense, and it makes it so short words like yes, no, doesn't go through. So we just need to change those parameters, and I'm pretty sure I know the console commands for those, so it should be pretty easy. Okay. Air sound test number 1. Let's try it out. It's not as intense as I'd like it to be, of course. Attempted to access audio component via property air sound, but audio component is not valid. Pending kill. Oh, fade out. Fade out duration 0.1. I guess we want to check if it's valid first. Oh, wait. That's because it's fading out constantly. Can I check if it's fading out? No. Great. Here's something we can do. You know what's something I do want to do, though? I do want to put text chat in, like proximity text chat. I think that could be a neat little nice feature. I don't know if I would make it do text to speech, kind of like how repo has it. Maybe maybe we can come up with some kind of like Animal Crossing, you know what I mean? Like something like that could maybe play. I think that was something we talked about just to make it like unique. Here's what we'll do. We'll check, is timer active? If it is not active, go ahead, start the fade out. And then that also then means that it will not replay the timer. And then that should stop any errors from going through. Okay, now we just need to, I guess we just need to make the air noise louder. Dude, what's with the yelling music? What's going on, man? Let's play something a little different. Let's try this. Something a little different. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Let me go to my my repo, my train rot inspiration. There we go. Yeah. I think the volume multiplier is fine. 100, 0, 1,000 is 1. Let me test it. But I'm pretty sure this is full volume. Watching float not in scope. Wow, I hate you, Unreal. You suck. You are the worst. What do you mean not in scope? One. Okay. See, here we're at 50% air volume speed. Air volume. I do think you would hear, like, so this is one of the problems with the system, is I feel like if you're right here, I feel like you should hear it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you should hear it when you're like opening a door like that. You know what I mean? Also, I'm still getting some attempted to access property air sound, but audio component is not valid. Pending kill. Destroy component. Probably check if it's valid before destroying it. That might be a good idea. Whoops. Zip, zip. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think it would sound cool if you heard it here. I feel like you would hear like air coming in. But then that breaks the interior system. When's the AI bubble gonna burst? I'm sick already. Just saw that Google Docs sometimes put a message saying how many more words till an AI replaces my typing. I don't know, dude. I think we're in this for the long run, unfortunately, I think. Fortunately, I think we're in here for the long run, as much as I don't. Yeah, as much as I hate it too. Sony is making an AI that'll play the game for you if you get stuck. Yeah, you know what? I just don't like this wind sound. I think that's the main problem. I feel like it needs to be more like really like intense. But it's not there. Not a big fan of the windbreaker sound. It doesn't really make too much sense. I'm starting to really hate AI. Trust me, I already see it from a fucking mile away. I think it either goes one of two ways. People get extremely desensitized to it and they just don't give a fuck, or they get so fucking annoyed about it that it actually starts impacting like the way people choose what to purchase. It's either going to go one or the other, and I think it's definitely going to be like annoying for people. I think even general public is probably going to get annoyed by it too. I don't know, who knows. Crazy idea. What if we add spatialization to the air? And it's not actually a 2D sound. Because think about it. If you turn your head back from the wind, it would sound like it's coming from behind you, right? If you turn this way, you'd hear it more on the right ear and the left ear not so much. I feel like it would make sense if it was spatialized. How do I... I'd have to almost attach... I'd have to almost attach... I'd have to attach the wind component to stay always in front of the character, but I'm pretty sure the capsule component rotates with the character. What is a way that I can keep it always in one spot? I'm pretty sure the caps component rotates with us. Yeah. Based on the fact that I see that red line, it is rotating with us. A spring arm. Spring arm seems pretty expensive. Well, it's not expensive, but for this use case, I feel like. How can I constrain something to an object without taking into account its rotation? Like, I could put it on the timer and set the location of the audio component, but that 0.1 second time might be noticeable. It might sound weird. Well, what's the worst that could happen? Let's just try it out. Yeah. Spawn sound at location. So we'd want to get the actor location, or no. We want to get this. Did you know that Microsoft rebranded Microsoft Office to Copilot 365? For some reason, I saw something like that on my computer, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? On my computer. Get this out of my face. Get this out of my face! So in the is valid, we're just going to want to set the location of air sound. To this. Only problem is this is only going to activate every 0.1 seconds. So there is a chance that this sound will sound a little out of place, which I'm a little worried about. And it's probably going to happen. But let's try it out. So override the attenuation. Do we want volume attenuation? No, we already deal with volume attenuation. Do we want spatialization? Yes. Let's try that. Reverb send? No. Well, no. No. We don't want that. Not at all. Okay, let's test number 2. Air sound. I think I wouldn't mind the sound slightly fading. The thing is, this only happens every 0.1 seconds, which means that an interpolate is not going to sound great. But fuck it, I guess. We can try, see what it might sound like. Maybe, is there a way to, like, I don't know, in the sound have some sort of like interpolation? Does it have some controls for that? Probably not. Probably not. Well, actually, you know, we're using fade out here. We can fade the percentage of the audio component's calculated volume in which to fade to. Hold on. Fade out duration 0.1 seconds. Fade volume is this. Maybe this is a way of... Oh wait, this has a delayed stop. Let's try. I don't know if it will delete it, but let's try it out. I'm not hearing anything. I don't think fade in is going to work though, but let's try it. I have a feeling this is going to fade like yeah. Okay. That's all right. Let's try interpolate, which is not going to be correct because it's not correct. It's just not correct because this is not on tick. So it's going to sound very off. It's going to sound very off. Because it's gonna sound stepped, basically. It doesn't sound horrible. The only thing is, I wish it could continue if it was right here. That would sound so cool if you open the door and then like the sound of wind starts coming in. But because we're in an interior, it kind of breaks the system a little bit. What if we just bypass the interior check? I don't think that'll be good because then we'll hear wind on the inside. We'll hear wind inside of the train. Which is no bueno. But that being said, another thing is, like, we would technically, because there's no glass here, we would technically hear wind coming from here. Like, wind would appear here. So it's not the most foolproof plan. It's not the most foolproof plan ever. Make a box with a different tag to trace over the door. That's crazy. Is there a way to check if we're inside of any reverb volumes? Is there a way to check if we're inside of a reverb volume? Because that could be our way to check if we are currently being impacted by any ambient settings. Like, is there... Returns the highest priority reverb settings currently available from any source. Wait, hold on. Wait, we might actually... What does this return? Nothing. What if we enter here? Medium room. Sewer pipe, medium room. Now we're inside of tunnel. Okay, wait, hold on, wait. We might be able to use that. But no, that wouldn't work if we... No, it would work because that also works for windows that are open. It would work. We might be able to use the reverb instead of this, which then allows us to also have more natural air sounds coming in. Their whole ass ray traced audio system for UE? Not out of the box. There are plugins, obviously, but not necessarily like out of the box. Like there's yeah, nothing like ray trace, like huge. As far as I know, I'm sure there's probably something, but okay. Okay, I'm liking the idea. I like the fact that we can get the reverb effect. Wow. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, so we don't need this to check if we're in an interior. That's fine. Because it's incorrect. It's not going to give us the best results. We want to check the settings, the interior. Oh no. Reverb effect object. What can I get from this? Activates a reverb effect without a need for an audio volume. Wait, that's kind of sick. Wait, I could have done that. Wait. I could have just used this instead of the fucking gameplay audio volume plugin. I didn't know you could just activate a reverb effect. Shit. Man. Whatever. Don't care. Well, I do care, but whatever. What am I to do? I need to see if we can get the settings of the reverb of effect. I need to get the settings. I'm sick. Am I using gas? Not for this project, no. It is getting... It is getting the object. Like, it's literally returning it. It's giving us the reverb effect object. Yeah. Oh no. The reverb effect doesn't contain the ambient zone settings. Oh no. Oh no. Shit. Wait, no. Wait, hold on. Audio volumes or manual settings. No, I need to check. UE5 get current audio volume player is in. Well, there's one way of doing this. We can specify the audio volume reference. And then give it a value. Set state audio volume. Are we going to be quickly switching from audio volume to audio volume? I don't think so. We also need to get the priority. And then we need to keep track of which one has the higher priority. Okay. Fun! We're gonna have a fun time with this one. Good up, Zark. Because I can't get the... Like, I don't think we can get the actual, like, audio volume that we're in. Like, there's this. Oh, that's what we're looking. Or, oh, I have a better idea. Send ambient settings, and I'm pretty sure this is a variable. Interior settings. Okay, so here's the idea. We add this audio system. I don't know what that was. No, audio system. We add that to our player character. And then we read from the ambient zone settings. And then we'll create a variable called current ambient settings. And then, yeah. Should be good. Or not. I don't know. We'll find out. Current ambient settings. Okay. Concepting for a friend slot right now too. Hey, hell yeah. Is everybody making a friend slot? You can ray trace audio. What does that even mean? I usually look at it from like you're basically in runtime calculating the space the player is in. That's how I usually visualize it. All right, I'll start doing friend slop. I'm making loser slop. No friends, single player game. Hey, don't get it twisted. Single player game is still good, okay? So now in this test audio diffusion component, every time we set the interior settings, we're going to get the player pawn. We're going to send the interior, the ambient settings. So every time we are setting the settings, we're then going to set the ambient zone settings as well. And then that way we're getting the settings. Yeah. Now, the max that this goes to is 0.2. 0.4. Wait, what? Wait. Shouldn't this be 0.2 then? Like, because that's the minimum? Like, that is the quietest it could get. So this becomes 0.2, which means we want our 0.2 to be 0. We also want it to be 0.2. Maybe 0.3. Okay, so 0.3 is going to be 0 for us. Let me write that down. 0.3 is 0. Okay. In the exterior volume. Okay. So that means, let's just do this first and foremost. Every time we check for air pressure, our new thing is just going to be checking this and then brake, and then we just want to check for the exterior volume. And then let's just print string this just to see what are the values. That means the wind is not going to work right now, but that's okay. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Once we enter this, it should be a different value. 0.8. Now it's 0.35. 0.2. I don't know why it's straight up 0.58 still. Wait. Oh, I know why. We have to do a send here. Whoopsies. Whoops. Whoops. And then we also need to do a send over here. Am I going to use forward shading for this? No, I think I'm just going to use just typical deferred. I've never used forward shading, and I just don't know if I want to like deal with all of the caveats it has. Like, I think I'm pretty sure our posterize effect would not work in forward rendering. It might, but I think deferred should be fine. Okay, so now this should be more accurate. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 0.3. So what did I write down? 0.3 is 0. Is forward shading that more performant? I don't know. Oh, 0.85. Okay, so when we exit the volume, I think we need to send ambient settings and just reset it. Anytime we exit the volume, because it's not sending anything. So this will just go here. If we split this, this should be the defaults. Okay. So it should become 1 by the time we exit. And 1 basically means that wind will be at full volume no matter what. One thing that kind of sucks is right here. We're gonna hear wind, like right here, which is probably fine. We probably would hear still some wind going through. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Exterior volume. If this is less than or equal to 0.3, more than 0.3. If true, go ahead and clear timer, spawn the sound, set the sound, do all that good stuff. Otherwise, fade it out. Yeah. Yeah. Can quickly become more expensive than deferred. Yeah, I think deferred is fine, honestly. Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm okay with it. Okay, so then we can take this exterior volume and we can multiply this, which should sound very cool. So 1 means we're outside, which means that this will be full volume. Okay. If we were like halfway into a space, it'll be like 0.5 or something. This should be doing a print string. Yes. Okay, double checking. Let me, I'm gonna do something just for testing. Isn't there a way to isolate one singular sound effect in UE for testing? Isn't there literally a way to isolate sounds? I swear there's a way of isolating a sound effect. I swear there was a way. But maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of something different. Or maybe oh, that might be like yeah, it might be a middleware thing. Okay, here's an idea. I'm gonna mute the train rail sounds real quick, just so we can kind of hear the thing better. So set this to 0. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna shorten the trace distance because it's too big. This shit's enormous, man. 5,000. Let's do 800, and then we'll do 100 to 800. And should be good. We're still getting some wind on the inside. If it's more than 0.3. Huh? Isn't this 0.3? It's more than 0.3. First time dropping by on the friendslop stream. What's the game about? It's basically co-ops horror survival game. You and your friends have to keep a train going and running and operational by feeding it random things that you find on the train and surviving from monsters, repairing maintenance jobs, etc., etc. Why do we still hear the air? Hold on, let me check. Yeah. It's still reading true. What about if I go on the inside here? Okay, then it cuts. Okay, let's just do, instead of 0.3, let's do 0.35. There you go. Oh, shit. It's because I spawned inside. Let me do 0.32, because there's still sound being spawned here. All right, we're getting somewhere. Okay, cool. That works, sort of. Let me let me turn back on the train rail sound, which I think was 1 or 0.8. I don't know. Oh shit. 0.8, surely, right? I'm sure. Yeah. And then I kind of want to raise the airspeed volume even more. Like, these sound clips are pretty quiet. So let's just make it loud. Let's make that shit loud. And it's spatialized, so it sounds like it's behind us. It also kind of sounds like it's staying here, which sounds kind of cool. No, this is sounding pretty sick. I ain't gonna lie. This is sounding pretty cool. The wind adds a lot, I gotta say. I feel like if you were on top of the train, I feel like it should be even louder. Arsonis GDC sounds good. Some of them are not bad. Like, you can find some nice little gold nuggets here and there that, like, really help you out. But wait, no, this is yeah, I had a feeling something weird would happen. Why is it harder to get D rank in Super Hard than S plus? That's why it's a Steam achievement. Yeah, I regret putting that Steam achievement in the game, to be honest. Maybe we increase... if I increase the distance too much, though, it could get really bad. Let's try, though. I'm going to increase the distance at which we set the location. Instead of plus 15, let's try plus 25. What's the capsule component size? 26. So we could like hug a wall and it might break something. Yeah, there's a little windy sound. There's a weird point right here where it sets 0.2 and then it goes up to 0.34. Why is that? Why is the audio diffusion doing that? If I remember correctly, there's a thing in here that also takes our velocity. Oh. So it's pushing us too far into the zone. And then it causes that weird instance. Yeah. I might have to change that because it's kind of weird how it cuts out right there. Is this game going to be relaxing or high stakes, or does it have a name, or is the name Friends? It's called Train Rot. It's going to be kind of horror. So, yeah. I guess high stakes-ish. Am I going to have the character violently coughing and dying if they stand in the smoke too long? I don't know. Probably not. Cool. This sounds cool, man. I think I did make the rails too quiet. I think I quieted them down. I think they're 1. Alright, we got some wind sounds, which are a little bit buggy, but that's okay. It's all part of the friendslop charm. I'm lagging. Help. Why am I, like, lagging randomly? Let's turn off that line trace real quick here. The train should stop at places that has a high tier loop, but it has some high tier monsters. The only times the train will stop is at stations, but those are going to be like safe zones. I have thought of an idea where sometimes randomly another train will appear next to you. We could make it so if you go in there, there could be some other monsters that are like dangerous and whatnot. So that could be like our way of doing like a secondary area that has some risk and reward associated. So that would be kind of like a way of doing stuff like that. I like the door opening mechanic, really high stakes if you need to run out. Exactly. That's kind of why the door is manual. Is to, if you're being chased by a monster, then I'm gonna change the fade out duration to 0.2. See, the wind coming here doesn't really make too much sense. Not the best. Maybe we do, I did cut out, I think I cut out the reverb on the wind, but maybe we do make it reverb actually. Make it reverberate. Because that would make sense in a tunnel. It almost makes you not want to go on the catwalks. Because it's like terrifying outside. It's gonna have multiple monsters though. There's gonna be completely different types of monsters. I'm curious, what is this air absorption? If I put it on default. Yeah, I'm getting little lag spikes. Ew. I need to give the furnace a sound effect as well. Why is the locker sentient? It's a squeaking sound that I was trying to make like an actual accurate squeaking sound, and then I fucked up the math, and I was like, you know, it's kind of funny actually. So, so I was like, ah, whatever, just leave it in. Strong Lethal Company vibes. Yeah, that's the biggest. Lethal Company is definitely a big inspiration for this. Lethal Company, Repo. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Now, what would be nice is, you guys notice when I open this door, the air is coming from inside. Ah. I know how I could fix that. I do know how I can fix that, actually. I do know how I can fix that. In our audio diffusion system, we give a vector here. I could feed this vector to the ambient settings, and then that could give us the actual location of like an opening. Air can come in if you open a door. Exactly, yeah. The entire reason why we kind of adjusted some of the system that we had prior is so that we can almost make it so it's like when you open a door, it sounds like air is actually coming through. But right now, the problem is that the air is always spawned ahead of us, almost to simulate air coming from, you know, the front. But when you open a door here, the air wouldn't come from in front here. It would come from like the doorway. So that's our current problem. But maybe a problem for future me. What's this video? The door has that voice. Whatever. It just gives the locker character. I'm not gonna do that with like the furnace door, for example. Where the fuck I am. I'm not gonna do that with the furnace door. How do you? Oh, there we go. That's a button. But you know, fuck it. We put it on the put it on the locker. Whatever. Who cares? Get up, Elliot. It's just fun. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give it a vector for the opening location. So if there is an opening, it'll change the value, and then it'll change the actual location of the wind, which I think will sound very cool. What we need to do, though, is... determine where that is. And that would probably be here, trace end. And then that would become the opening location. Okay. So now from here, we are then, oh great, I gotta make another variable for this shit. Oh, come on. Go first, how's it going? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Check for air pressure in the location. If this is equal to 0, then we want to select this one. If it's false, I guess we'll use the audio opening location. Okay. Everything about Super Fires is fun, but it's a little buggy for me because of my low FPS. What FPS are you getting first? You could try, like, lowering some of the settings helps. I did some optimization for the next update coming, so hopefully that helps a little bit as well. I found some spots I could optimize. So hopefully that helps. Play on my laptop because I want to chill. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know how well it would run on laptops. Albeit it depends on the specs, but yeah. Oh shit, the wind is coming from the doorway now. All right, okay. Except for right here. Just kind of annoying. So there's a little bit of like a point here where it's not great. Also, the line trace is always forward, so it's not checking for the openings like this, which is incorrect. So that's another thing we'd probably want to improve, but whatever. Is the character a peanut? He's a sausage. He's a bit of a sausage. Yeah. Little sausage. Cool. You almost kind of want to, like, stay indoors. Just because of how much noise there is. And then, of course, if you're in the window... like right here... you can hear some wind. But it's not exactly the most accurate calculation. Now that I think about it, actually, if this is, if this has a, if this has an opening, maybe we use that for the line trace instead. Now that I think about it, because then that means that it's going to line trace towards the opening. So we hear wind from the doorway. So if I go here, it's now tracing towards the doorway. Okay. That fixed that issue. Or, well, sort of. Still not perfect, but yeah. Will the train ever drive on a curve? Probably not. I've thought about it, but... I think it's just too much effort to just get it to go on a curve. I would love to, and I've thought about ways that we can maybe fake it, but... kind of like whatever. Do you want your game to be a serious horror or just playful? Kind of playful, but I do want it to have scary moments. I kind of want the players, like, the emotions I want players to have is like thrill, mystery, fear in some ways, but also I don't know what a proper emotion would be for just like having giggly fun, like just giggling, right? Just like laughing and whatnot, just having a fun time. So There's going to be moments where I do want it to be like kind of, you know, scary, obviously with like the monsters, but I think the thing is with all these like horror games, friendslop games, is that the enemies don't seem as scary anymore after a certain point, because you kind of know like their mechanics and stuff like that. You'll still have like little moments, right, where it's like jump scares and whatnot, but yeah. Cool. Good stream. A little bit more atmosphere worked on. Not many system stuff. What did we work on today? I don't even know. The train, the tunnel sound, and the wind sound, and that's it. Also, if you're in the front part of the train, this door is open. How can the wind get in because the train is going forward? Yeah, that's why I'm thinking like we'd probably lower the wind sound here. Like it'd be a lot lower. So I might do some math to lower the intensity. But I think you'd still hear like wind coming down here. I feel like you'd still hear some of it. It's not as loud as you hear it right now. I reworked my entire movement system from pure WASDA to a setting to enable either WASDA or click to move during the stream. Nice, good productivity. This probably needs a sound when it locks, because there's a lock state now. Like, it doesn't simulate physics anymore. Both good for optimization, and also, like, if you're hiding from a monster, you don't accidentally bump the door open. But yeah. Is there a mechanic where you need to stay warm? There are going to be levels where it's like the Arctic, and blizzards might come up and whatnot. So you will have to kind of stay warm, but it's as simple as, like, probably just going indoors and whatnot. It's a mosquito door. You can say whatever you want it is. Whatever you want it to be. I just like the fact that it pitches up and pitches down, but I fucked up the math and something went wrong. And then weird things happen. And honestly, I'm leaving it in the game. I'm leaving it in. Don't care. Alright. Good stream. Thanks for dropping by. Tomorrow is Wednesday. What's on our board? What's on our board? We have random item spawning. We just need to make the sizes work. Now, I could probably get the tag value system working maybe tonight. And then I can probably just determine if something should fit in a spot or not. Yeah, maybe we should start working on the maintenance system, because that is a pretty big thing to do. And then while working on that, maybe we can make the speed of the train start being adjusted. And then let's do this route system. How far the train is to the next station. Also shown on a display at the front of the train. Yes. How far the train is to the next station, also shown on a display at the front of the train. Yes. Yes. What up, Shaq? Want to add where you're in a desert train and you stay cool? That could be cool. No pun intended. That could be cool. So this is core gameplay loop. No, that could definitely be pretty neat. I'm always down to add more, like, you know, as we add more content, we could always add more like types of areas and weather effects and all that kind of fun stuff. I think it's always great. It's a different variety. Okay. Yeah, let's maybe work on some of the maintenance stuff tomorrow and maybe even the route system. I think I've gotten started on the route. Like, I think in the game state we have values for that to keep track of where we are. Here we go. Game state. Train state. It has the fuel amount, the train health, the train speed, and the path progress. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yes, and I think this is already being replicated to players. Yes, it is. Yeah, train state ticks. All we have to do is modify the path progress, and then we just take the speed and maybe the train health, and then that'll dictate the progress that we're at. Well, actually, speed would probably be dictated by the health and the amount of fuel. So that would be a calculation that we do based on the two things up here, most likely. I think I got hired by a scam corporation. I should really stop being lazy. Krim, give me some self-motivation like you got. Brother, go outside, touch some grass, and then ask yourself your own questions. I can't help you. Ask yourself questions about who you want to be, the type of things you want to do, and blah, 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 blah. That's it. I don't have, like, motivation. I just look at my task board that I created myself, and I just fucking get it done. At the end of the day, the only person that's going to be doing things is, you know, making strides for myself is myself. That's it. There you go. Ask yourself that question, and then, I don't know, sit in silence for a few hours or something. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow, where we will get work on the route system, which I think should be pretty good. And then maybe we can do some of the stuff for the maintenance jobs. That could be great too. And then we're slowly, like, getting the actual gameplay loop in. The game is going. Video gaming? Yes. Yes. Video game. Hell yeah. On that note, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch the stream and chat with me, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great night, morning, whatever time it is for you. I don't know. I'm going to go eat something because I'm really hungry. So I'll see you guys later. Okay. Goodbye.